So Craig was on holiday in Italy, and it's at this hotel sort of like resort kind of place and all that, and had entertainment at the hotel, bit cheesy and all that. But they did these wee tours, take you away on a bus, and then you visit this and you visit that, and you get to visit that he knew, but you also visit some other wee places. And went, right, let's go on that. He said to Mary, his girlfriend, and she went, aye, all right, if you want. So they went, and they visited these caves, and they visited this vineyard. That was good. You got to taste the wine. And there was this church, sort of monastery looking thing. And he went in, and there was a big button there, like an old button, like a stone button. Right, he went, I wonder what that is. There was nobody about. She went, this is boring, this is shite. I'll get you outside. This is shite. So she went out and everybody else is out. And he pressed this button, big stone button, like that size. I went, what's that? Because it looked like a button, and he thought, it isn't a button. But I'll press it anyway. Pressed it, and it was a button. And it went, and the wall turned around. And there were 3 monks, one at each side and a kind of middle one. One at each side, and there was a middle one. And the middle one walked up and went, and Craig said, what have I done? I do not wish to offend. I am here as a visitor from Scotland. I do not wish to offend. I am here as a visitor. I come in peace. I wish to learn about... And then they grabbed him and they put these chains on him that were made of... They look like handcuffs, but they're made of thorns. Like, you know, vine, sort of thorny sort of vine things. And they took him in behind that bit, and in the door, the whole thing revolved again, the wall. And there in there were all these monks. And there was a big sign up on the wall that was in Italian, Polish, Arabic, Chinese, is Chinese a language? Oh, I thought Chinese was a language, and somebody said there's no such language as Chinese. It's Mandarin. Then what is it when it says Chinese simplified? When is that in the letters? Right, look. Translate. Anyway, this is what it said. Mandarin and Cantonese. Translate. You are now a monk. Right. So it said that. And so it said that. He's like, what's that mean? What does that mean? He saw this. What's that? What's that mean there? What's that? What's that? Is that Gaelic? Look. So what does that mean? Look. Chinese simplified, Chinese traditional. How come That's there in Google Translate, yet people say, no, 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 it's Mandarin or Cantonese. Written and spoken. It's Mandarin. They use the same. That's Mandarin. Mainland China uses simplified. Because one's phonetic. I'm going to have to look up because you're only making sense. You're only making sense. It's like... Right, so anyway, so he saw that. He saw this. And one final one, he saw... Greek. Oh no. Finally, he saw... Where's the letter I? There it was. That's what... It was there first. Monaco. Monaco. That was the first one. That was the biggest one. Because this was Italy. So he thought it was Monaco. He thought this was like a casino.
Ora sei un Monaco.
And he kept hearing them saying Monaco. He thought, is this a casino or are we all going to Monaco now?
Ora sei un Monaco. Ora sei un Monaco.
You are now a monk.
He thought that was, we're going to get ready for your trip to Monaco.
Ora sei un Monaco. Ora sei un Monaco.
But in fact, what it meant was this.
You are now a monk. You are now a monk.
He didn't know. So he was like that. Yes, and he was like, we're going to go and get Mary. She's at the other side of the wall. Wait till she hears we're going to Monaco. She's going to love this. What he didn't know, because of the Monaco thing, he's now a monk. He didn't know. So he spent the next 50 years in a cave in silence. And a lot of people would go out their mind doing that. He spent the next 50 years in a cave in silence because he was just really looking forward to Mary when she found out. He did think to himself, is she there already? He thought to himself, I bet when I get there, she's blown all her money. I bet she spent all her money. 50 years. And the funny thing is, see, after the 50 years, the 3 monks came back and they said, let's go. And they said it in English. And Craig went like that. He hadn't spoken for so long that his voice box had all fucked up. 50 years, not a word had passed. 50 years. And they took him. He didn't know. He thought he was going to get hanged or something. Or crucified. No, they took him. Yeah. Take him here. Take him here. Monaco. Monaco. Oh, that's really good. Talk about Monaco. And specifically to Monaco Casino. There it is, look at that, eh? Looks fucking shite. Is that it? Is that it? Is that the legendary fucking Monaco Casino? Look at it. Is that a fucking Weatherspoons? Look at that. There's a fucking Weatherspoons in Glasgow. That's a counting house. That's a fucking counting house in Glasgow. It used to be a bank, and then it's a... What do you say this? Like, look at that. Keep that in your mind. Counting House, Glasgow. Look at that. It's Weatherspoons. Look. It's the exact same. There you go. Guy up at the bar waiting to get served. Guy up at the bar waiting to get served. There's Algin. He's getting up. He's having to get up. I thought it was table service. No, you have to go up and then order. You got to give him your table number. Oh. Well, how do I work the thing? There they are. There's him there and him there. There's them there. Looks really, really good. And he said, "What is this? What is this?" Because he's had this sport for 50 years. And he said, "We have come to understand that you thought you were going to Monaco. We said you'd now become a monk. And someone recently said, did you know that our word for monk, which is Monaco, is also the same name as a gambling place? We were not aware of it because we're monks. We don't live in that life. Did you think you were going to Monaco?" And he said, "I can't remember, it's 50 years ago." He said, "Well, we're taking you to Monaco." So they took him to Monaco. You're not actually really allowed in Monaco, and there's not enough money. They couldn't really, everything costs a fortune. So they just sort of stood at the edge of it and just sort of looked in. And he went, "Right, let's go." And he went back to the monastery. He went, let me go to see Mary." They went, "Mary's dead." Mary was knocked down on that holiday. About 2 days after, you went missing. And he went, "Oh no, no." They said, "You pressing that button must have killed her." He went, "No." But there, at a distance, just as they were getting back in the minibus to go back to the monastery, was a woman like this, an old woman like that. And he went, "That's Mary." And they went, "No, it's no, it's no." And they went to take him into the minibus, and Mary came running there to him, and he went running. He got away from him, and he went running to her. She came running to him, and then she really did get knocked down. And then they went like that. "You caused that." And he went like that. "No." And then they took him back to the monastery. And he'd been there for 50 years. And he had special privileges because he'd been there for 50 years. One was a wee telly. And he looked at the telly and he saw that a woman had been knocked down, but she was alright in the hospital. So he broke out he went to visit in the hospital. It was Mary. And he ran up to her and he tripped up and went right into the fucking life support machine and broke it. And it fucking flatlined. Doo! And they three monks appeared from behind the door, behind the wall, and went, "That was your fault." And he went, "No!" I'm doing Darth Vader at the end of Revenge of the Sith, in case you don't know. And it kept going like that for ages and ages. And what this is, basically, in case you don't, and then it sort of ends there. The story sort of ends there. No, we'll have it that he's looking at the window, at the sky, and then it ends there. And this is where, that's the end of the story. And this is where you go, that, I don't get it. I don't get it. What happened? You don't get it. The whole thing was about guilt, especially like Christian or Catholic guilt, about, you know, you're doing everything wrong and it's bad. I don't know. I'm not a Catholic. Never been a Catholic. I just hear about it. It's actually about, you know, this is your fault and you've done this wrong and this is your fault and all that. So it's actually a parable. So it's actually really, really clever. It's like Mother, the film Mother. It's actually really, really clever. It's about desire, mistakes, guilt, sin. Sin. Sinful. And the original sin. And you can do the sort of Christian biblical thing and blame it all on Mary. Blame it on her. Well, no, Mary. Blame it on the woman. She did it. She went out the monastery. It's her fault. And left me in there by myself to press the button. And you know how I said her? You know how I said her name was Mary? Her real, her actual, that was just her middle name. That was her middle name. Her first name, her actual name was Eve. And see, Craig's name was Craig, but it kind of sounds like Adam in a way, doesn't it? Craig, Adam, doesn't it? Craig, doesn't it? That's fun. It's funny, that, isn't it? And that's a true story. How do I know? Because I prayed one night and God told me the lot. Sometimes he answers back